the Suns force a Game 7 tonight?
Yes. Yes, they will.
Oh,
all right.
no.
I like the comments and the body language that I'm seeing from them in the press conferences. These dudes aren't shook. They haven't had their heart taken. They aren't discouraged. Deandre Ayton said he likes this position. He's having fun. He likes being the desperate team. Brandon will know this. Half of this battle will be mental. All right. And I like what I'm seeing from them as far as where their headspace is. Now, also, if you look at Game 5, we know they were up big early, up 16. For that run that got Milwaukee back into it, I'll give it to you. It was early. The Bucks may have gotten back into it anyway, probably would have. But still, during that run, Ayton was out for half of it. Devin Booker was out essentially the entire run where Milwaukee got back into the game. I don't think Monty Williams is going to make that type of mistake again. Devin Booker has to be ready to go 48 minutes if necessary. DeAndre Ayton's obviously going to play a lot of minutes, and Chris Paul needs to be ready to go about 40 minutes. So, I need Chris Paul and Devin Booker to outplay Middleton and Drew Holiday significantly. It can't be even. They've got to outscore those guys because Giannis is going to get his in the front court. And I do think they'll do that. Drew Holiday has yet to have back-to-back good shooting nights in the finals. I don't think he starts tonight. All right. Chris Middleton, we know he's a roller coaster. We know how up and down he is. He is due for a down game. And we talked about how the Suns shot so well in the last game, and they did, but so did Milwaukee. 58% from the floor, including 50% from three. I do not see the Bucks shooting 50% or close again from three. Suns push it to a Game 7.
Wow.
So here's the thing.
Just don't even need to respond.
I appreciate how definitive you were, Broussard, and I really appreciate you found all the bass in your voice for one last final push of the 2021 season. I do appreciate and respect that. It's good for our show. It's good for your brand. It's good for all of it. Unfortunately, I could see it in your eyes. Your heart's not actually in it because you know what the Suns know, which is, and this is kind of a new taunt in the NBA over the last few years. This one, too small. The Suns are too small. And the Lakers, before Anthony Davis got hurt, you know what the Suns knew in that series? We might be too small. And in this series, you know what the Suns know? We're too small. And there was a lot of, if this happens, and then that's going to happen, and this roller coaster is going to be down, not up, and this roller coaster is going to be up, not down. And the reason you have to do all those machinations, and I'm not blaming you for this, is because there is only one thing we know about tonight's game. There's only one thing we can say with utter certainty. Giannis will be phenomenal. So if you know that, then it's an uphill climb from there. And if you're the Phoenix, you go into the game saying, we can't stop their best guy, and we don't know what we're going to get out of any of our guys. Like, let's be honest here. Booker's been awesome the last two games. Do we expect him to have 3 straight awesome games? Maybe. Chris Paul has been up and down this whole series. DeAndre Ayton has been steady, but not spectacular. So maybe Ayton, you can pencil him in for like 15 and 10, but that ain't going to be enough. The Bucks have the best player. The Bucks have the better big three. The Bucks are at home. The Bucks are going to win tonight, Brandon. I am sorry to tell you, but the season and the series ends this evening.
Yeah, well, Nick, here's the deal. You're talking about they're too small. Well, what it looks like to me is the second chance opportunities that they got last game. That was the difference. Those are things they control when you look at the offensive boards. those things were hustle plays. How many times did we see the ball up in the air and then you see Ayton or Booker have it in their hand and then all of a sudden someone punch it out, knock it out? Come on, you guys got to come down with that, because at the end of the day, when you look at the numbers, and you highlighted it earlier, they're shooting better. Defensively, yeah, they can be better there, but that's more just locking in. Those are two things that they control, what they do on the defensive end and those offensive boards, those hustle plays. Those are two things that they control. They were top 10 defense and a top 10 offense all year long. Yes, they have a chance to force a game 7. Absolutely, it will happen, because there was 3 aberration games in a row. I can't stress this enough. If you go down, wow, game 3, what happened? How many times do you want me to say it? Do you want to finish? Do you want to finish my take for me? Wow, you know exactly what I'm about to say.
3 aberrations.
Game 3. There we go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish it for me. 3 aberrations.
I'm crunching the numbers,
okay,
Brandon. I'm deep in NBA analytics. I'm crunching the numbers, my friend. Stand by. I need a different pen. Stand by. I'm crunching the numbers. Here's what I've come up with. It's call me the little Daryl Morey. Here I go. The Suns are 9-2 when they shoot more than 30 threes. And guess what? Game 1, they shot 34 threes. They won the game. Game 2, they shot 40 threes. Guess what? They won the game. Here's the problem. Then they're like, yeah, 3s are great, but how about 2s? 2s don't get any love. I've been reading on the internet. Everyone wants the mid-range game to come back. Well, okay, fair enough. Problem is, they're worth 2/3 of a three-pointer. They're 0-3. They're only making less than 10. So here's what I want to do, Nick. And it's as simple as this. Start bombing away from 3s. You don't have to play different than you played in the regular season. I know Chris Paul's like, hey, we're gonna, dance with who brought you. Yeah. This is our style of play. But they're not playing like they did in the regular season. They're taking far less 3s. Yeah. So if you're gonna lose, go out in a blaze of glory and play your game. Don't let Chris Middleton and Drew chase you off the three-point line. Shoot some 3s. Maybe Booker doesn't have to have 40. Maybe Booker has to have 30. Maybe Campaign needs to get a little bit more involved. Maybe you got to do a little more high pick and rolls with Ayton to free up some corner 3s. So I think, I know you're confident, but I'm starting to lean towards Broussard if we can start shooting 3s like the Suns are used to doing.
Yeah. But listen, your numbers are right, but I disagree with the analysis. This isn't golf. Okay. This isn't somebody who's like, man, all year long you've hit driver off the tee, and now you're hitting 3-wood. Go back to the driver. They're not shooting 3s because the Bucks aren't letting them. It's not happenstance. A lot of highlights of a guy turning down a wide open 3 to step into a 2. No, it's guys being run off the line. And Broussard, Tom Haberstroh pointed this out. I think it's super interesting. It's not only that Devin Booker's assists and potential assists, if you care about that number, have plummeted since games 1 and 2. In this series, in the fourth quarter, Devin Booker has taken 24 shots and has 0 assists. I think that's on purpose by Milwaukee.
That's not good.
I think Milwaukee's like, all right, this guy's not drawing a ton of fouls. He's not getting to the rim. He's a great shot maker. But if we can make sure those are tough 2s and we're not collapsing the defense on him, we're making him shoot them, and he's not kicking to open 3-point shooters, we'll deal with it. So I think that is a major change that Phoenix has to make. And I think the only way they can actually make it is if Chris Paul starts getting to the basket and then kicking it out. And I don't know if Chris Paul's got the legs underneath him at this point.
Look, I do think there have been times, while Devin Booker's been spectacular, there have been times where it looks like he's forcing it. All right, he looks like he is going into the Mamba mentality on occasion where he's just taking it and going for that mid-range shot. However, I'm not worried about his assist if he's giving me 40 points. And part of it is that Ayton had the bad game with 6 points. Chris Paul, we know, had the terrible game with 10 points. And Chris has to be more aggressive. Like, Chris scored 10 points in the fourth quarter of Game 5. All right, he was 4 for 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. I need him to have that mentality the entire game. Not that he has to score 40, but I would like to see Chris closer to the Chris Paul who closed out the Clippers with the 41 points than the Chris Paul that's just being a little more passive and playing the great floor game. I need the floor game. I need the assist, obviously not the turnovers. but I need him to be a more aggressive scorer. And to your point, that would lead to more assists probably for Booker as well.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.